Vegas Vipers and then the Arlington Renegades. I know you're big on the Renegades, Goggin. What'd you think of this one?
Yeah, and it's funny because they're just the Vegas Vipers, right? So I gotta give them credit, man. They chopped off extra letters where they didn't need them. Yeah, all in on my Renegades, all right? Coach Bob Stoops, I liked him a lot. Oklahoma, I think he's one of the best college football coaches I've had the pleasure of watching. And I know Sooner fans would agree with me. Look, he's built dynasties in college football. I'm hoping he can do that here. The Renegades, they're my squad. I like their uniforms, and I'm rooting for Coach Bob Stoops.
Nice. Well, look, I'll kind of recap a little bit of the game action that we saw. Starting off, we had Luis Perez over there for the Vipers. He started off very, very hot. He went 8 for 9 and had a 39-yard touchdown pass early on in the game. He was able to give them a 14-3 lead at half. If you are a Vipers fan, you were feeling pretty darn good about what you saw in that first half of action. But, man, did Arlington have a comeback in them or what? Because they just got things rolling from there, being able to, even overcome a little bit of their quarterback, not deficiency, but just Drew Plitt did not have an amazing game and was still able to pull through, and they were able to get the win over the Vipers 22-20.
Yes, my big takeaway is the defensive adjustments made by the Renegades. But on top of that, I would also add in that just from the start of this first game, you can tell that the hitting was better. You can tell that there was, it reminded me of the NFL 10, 15, 20 years ago, right? Where the hitting was crisp. I got to give hats off to both of these defensive teams, right? Like the hitting was fantastic, and it sucked me in. And you can tell the turnovers came in the second half.
They did. That's where they started to pile on. They kind of had miscues right out of the gate coming out of the half. And speaking of the Vipers, it was really a tale of two halves in the game. They looked phenomenal that first half. You thought maybe they were going to be the most cleaner performance than what you were expecting and maybe the best team in the XFL. But then you watch that second half and, man, are you just left wondering, man, like, is this which team is the Vegas Vipers? You know what I mean? Which one are they? Because it was just two completely different teams out there. All the credit in the world go to the Renegades, that coaching staff, being able to adjust pretty much like you said and make the adjustments needed in that second half, force the turnovers and really hold the Vegas offense, which was driving in the first half, to nothing. I think they held them to under 50 yards in that second half. Just awesome.
Agreed. And I think ultimately the other takeaway, Renegades, they were favored by -4 points, right? I thought that was too much. You liked it. Look, it came down to it, right? And the other part that we want to touch on when betting the XFL, look, teams have the option of going for the 1-pointer, the 2-pointer, and the 3-point conversion, right? And so that will really change up spreads. Like, you can't predict that, right? I mean, you can't predict a team going for 3, getting it, missing it, right? So there's going to be some hits and misses as we bet the spreads here in the XFL. I believe that bettors will adjust to this over time. My big takeaway I want to add to this, I love the fact that we have 3 teams in the South, all out of Texas. All right, so out of San Antonio, Houston, and Arlington. I think this is great.
Yeah, and you know what? I also want to add in there to kind of what you said, just in terms of the 2-point, the 3-point, or the 1-point going forward. In the sense, we're definitely going to see great examples of how that's used in some upcoming games. But man, my biggest takeaway, you pretty much summed it up. Great adjustments. The better coach team won. You were 100% right on what you said, because you did say you liked Arlington to win, but that's a lot of points, especially for an opening week game. So all the credit to you for getting your pick right, man.